Excuse me?
Sarbani Sen, please
Yes.
introduce yourself and tell us where you're telling from, and please tell us a story.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sarbani Sen, and I'm from Delhi. Well, like my fellow storytellers, today I also have picked up a story on a very important female historical person from India. Eric, thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you. So I request you all to stay on mute for next 10 minutes. And after that, you can unmute and give me your feedback. Namaste. Every year on 3rd January, India celebrates my birth anniversary. I feel India discovered me a bit late, almost 1.5 centuries later. Not that it matters to me, but I feel I'm mostly limited to general knowledge books. If a quiz question is popped at you, who is the first female teacher from India who started a school for girls? The answer is my name, Savitri Bai Phule. But you know what? I am beyond this general knowledge books. Let me tell you about my journey. I was born in a small village in Naigaon, Satara district, Maharashtra, India, in the year 1831. As a child, I was very curious about everything happening around me. My parents could try their level best to answer all the questions I could ask them. One day, while I was playing with my friends, I saw one of my friend was crying. He was sitting on a tree and he saw a black snake, a big black snake. He was crying. I quickly ran, climbed the tree, pulled the snake out and threw it. I really don't know why I did that. I guess I really didn't understand what fear was. When I turned 9, my father said, I will be getting married. Now, don't be shocked, okay? People used to get their girls married around that age. Very common. All my friends were getting married. I was very happy the day I got married. I was wearing a green sari and I was getting a lot of attention from everybody. And the boy who was standing in front of me was just 13 and his name was Jyoti Rao Phule. With him, I moved to Pune, which is, I think, 100 kilometers north of my village. My life completely changed after marriage. Jyoti Rao used to go to a missionary school. And every day when he used to come back from school, I could secretly flip through the books. I really loved to see books, read, write, but I was an illiterate. Jyoti Rao came up to me one day and he said, do you want to read? Do you want to write your name? Read your name? I said, yes, yes. That's the first time somebody asked me if I want to study. Jyoti Rao became my teacher, my first teacher. Slowly, I started to step out and I, in fact, went to college. People around me would say, why is a girl stepping out? Why is she going? What is the need to study? Why can't she take care of the house? I would lose my confidence. I felt maybe I'm not doing the right thing. But Jyoti Rao was like a rock. He would hold my hand and he would say, we are holding hands, we are together, we will fight, we will win. That had a different effect on me. I, Jyoti Rao Phule, became a teacher, while girls at that time were treated no better than cattle at home. I earned this distinction of being a female teacher from India, the first female teacher. Jyoti Rao, in fact, decided to start a school for girls. In 1848, he opened a school in Bhindewada in Pune, only for girls. He faced a lot of opposition. People would say, a school for girls? A female teacher? I was just not a teacher there. I became the headmistress there. And people would say, a female principal? That's impossible. Only men from high caste are allowed to be teacher. I faced a lot of opposition from people. Every day on my way to school, people would surround me and they would throw stones, mud, cow dung at me. But Jyoti Rao came up with a solution. He said, why don't you carry a bag with you with the spare sari? Just change into a new sari and attend your class. Simple. See, he had a solution for everything. But one day, the situation was a bit different. A huge man stood in front of me. He said, what you are doing is against our culture. Women are supposed to take care of the house, of the children. Go home! Go home! Go home! I stood there firm. I looked into his eyes and stared him down. And I walked to my school. I remembered what my husband would always sing. We are holding hands, we are together, we will fight, we will win. I always fought for what I believed in. Education changed my life, and I wanted to bring in the change in the lives of other girls. Our school, which started with just 9 girls, had more than 10% more girls than the boys studying in government schools. Today, people call me a feminist. I don't know what it meant then. People call me a social reformer. I seriously didn't know what it meant then. I'm called a pioneer today. I really don't think I am one. I'm just a woman who fought and fought and fought for my rights. Namaste.
Okay, thank you very much.
I loved your characters. I really, that big guy, your husband or her husband came across really well. The thing that I loved was the interesting, rather than you just starting with born on such and such. You actually you started in a way of, I'm not on most calendars, or my day is not really remembered. That was such a wonderful way to begin, because it shows you still at this time, after all these years, women are still not getting the recognition. If it had been a man founding something, you want to bet it would have been in the general textbooks. You would have bet that it would have been, and it wouldn't have been this, little obscure fact somewhere. So I think your story is wonderful. I think the way you brought it out at the beginning is a unique way of pointing out to us, not directly, but indirectly, how in some ways things still haven't changed. Okay. And that's important. At the end, when you talk about her being a pioneer and stuff, maybe if you could sort of, it's long past since I've passed away, and they're talking about me being this, and this, and do it as a list rather than you did it as segments, but just sort of a list, and get three key points, and then at the end and say, but for me, it was just always about me fighting for my rights, so that it's just a little stronger ending. But when you did that big guy, and when you talked about him giving you a change of a sari dress and all those things, and the song that helped you, I'd even tie in the song a bit more, like when the man was staring at me, I just was remembering inside that song, and so I was able to stare him down, different places where. But she was also very courageous, because you mentioned that part of as a kid where she took that snake and that she was fearless. That by including that, if you could maybe, and that I took throughout my life, that's part of me, something that because you brought it in, and the only thing about that story that might be a little clear is you said he just kept crying. I think he also, because he was so frightened, right? So maybe rather than saying that he was just, and he was crying, and like something that so we're seeing it, right? And there I was, I climbed up the tree, grabbed it and threw it away, because then we're physically seeing that strength of character that for the rest of her life will bring it in. Also, because I don't come from a culture where marriages are very early like that. I think it was very helpful to say that is normal here. This is for people who are listening from the outside. But it's a great story. It needs to get out there, and you have a lot of nuances and interesting things that you put in. So thank you very much.
You are on mute.
Yes, you need to unmute yourself.
Yeah. So the song, yes, that was something I should have put it there, but I guess I got carried away and I just forgot to tell it there. That's it. So maybe I do more practice. I'll just remember to say it at that point of time. And yes, I can keep improving the script.
I loved it. The way you told, it was so powerful. I have read Savitribai Phule's story from many people, but the way you told it, it was beautiful. Like the way you started, and you became Savitribai Phule. So it was beautiful. The way
that was Eric's suggestion. The moment I suggested, he was the one to say, why don't you play it? I've done a course with him. I really, really appreciate his tips.
Awesome.
One little thing, I think you I've seen many people tell on Zoom, but I have never, the way you use the platform, the camera, and the ability to take the full screen was an amazing thing, and you used the media in a very, very interesting way, I must say.
Yes, you very much told to the camera, which is
yes,
it's very pleasing to us viewers, because we feel we're having eye contact with you. Now, were you looking at our images at all?
Like you had always told me to look straight into the camera. I stared and stared at him.
Well, it's also good sometimes to have images of like one or two of your favorite listeners directly underneath the camera. So once in a while you can steal a glance, or peripherally see downward. But is your screen gallery view, or were you seeing your own image?
It's in gallery view.
Yeah, okay, so the images were there, but you just
Yeah.
chose not
Yeah,
to.
I looked at the camera because you had always told me during the class.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's such a difficult choice with video conferencing because you do want to look at people's images and modify your performance based on how people are responding, but you'll give a more pleasing and powerful performance if you don't look at them. So
Okay.
it's a terrible choice that a storyteller has to make.
Right. Thanks.
I want to say something about your
Can I?
eyes.
Okay.
Can I say
Yes.
something about
Yes.
when you stared that man down? I thought your eyes were going to pop out of your head. They were just so perfect, such a perfect illustration of
Okay.
how this woman could stare somebody down. It was your use of your face and your eyes was just fantastic.
Ma'am, I've got really big eyes. I hope it was not that bad. And secondly, if you think this, we are talking about 1848 and a lady who faced such kind of challenges, opposition from people, I guess she must be really strong, to
Yeah.
do. And there are many things about her, but because today I had just few, like 10 minutes, so this is how I could justify. But if you read on her, Savitri Bai Phule, many things on child marriage, on education for women, widow, and lot of things. So
Yeah.
I'm sure she must be very strong.
Yeah, maybe you're a reincarnation.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was a very striking moment in the telling when you were playing the man who was telling her to stop, right? And you said, "You must stop, stop, stop." And with each sentence, you came towards the camera.
Yeah.
So we were afraid because this man was coming towards us. And it illustrates the point that I often make about in storytelling. When you play a character, that character may be talking to another character. That character was talking to the lady, right?
Yeah.
But us viewers are in the position of that lady. So when the character is saying, stop, 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 and you're coming close to the camera, we almost feel like you're telling us to stop because we are in the position of that character. So
Yeah.
it was a little scary. And then also we were thinking, what should we do with this guy? If this guy is telling us to stop, what are we going to do? So it was very emotionally involving.
Okay. I hope I didn't scare you.
Yes, you certainly did. That's okay. That's what storytelling's for. Good to get a good scare.
A very good evening. Can I speak also?
Yes,
I'd
go
like
ahead.
to
Yes,
just
yes.
add on. Yeah. You've got mesmerizing eyes, actually.
Oh, thanks.
Mesmerizing. One just kept on looking at your eyes. And I think it's very nice because it's natural and it comes so naturally to you. The way you began the story was beautiful. I mean, I really enjoyed. And learning about a figure like such a well-known person, we really don't know that much about.
Yeah.
It gives us a really happy feeling. Very, very nice, very well told, according to me. I felt very involved in the whole process and lovely voice. And I think, Eric, it must all go to you.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we'll stop.